Let's bring in our reporters now. Silindelo Masikane is in Johannesburg and Mchunu is in Pretoria. They've been tracking developments to two very important stories for us today. Let's start with Slee, who is with Wits students who are not backing down, I understand, Slee, until their demands are met. And I see that the protests are gaining momentum.
Certainly so. You would remember that the last time we spoke, we were outside the Wits University, and at that point, students were being barred from coming in. Security officials, of course, which have been increased from as early as this morning, were at each and every entry and exit point of the university, and it seems as though a coordinated effort between workers who are in solidarity with students actually resulted in them managing to get in through one of the entrances here on East Campus, where actually by the Great Hall, which is actually where registration usually takes place for students. And you can see that we've got private security manning the entrance of the Great Hall. And to my right, or to Tebogo's right as well, we've got protesting students along with the members of Nahau who are in support of the protest gathered outside. We had an address from one of the Nahau representatives who said that they have applied for a strike certificate to be able to join the students legally because they don't want to put the jobs of their members at risk, as well as the fact that they also are demanding a 10% increase for workers. They're also saying that it's quite strange how the university has money to increase security officials but cannot accommodate students who cannot afford the fees, as well as increase the salaries of workers. But let's just take a listen to some of what students had to say to me earlier on.
We are being faced with arrogance right now, and we are surrounded by cops, we are surrounded by campus security and these bouncers who don't even have name tags that are here. So what we are asking them is that they must open for us so we may enter the institution. We have workers who have pledged allegiance with the students, and we want to meet those workers inside. And right now we're sitting here being surrounded by bullets that side and this side. We can't even enter our own campus. So at this point, we are reaching a deadlock with management.
We had initially raised or submitted our grievances to the university with regard to the demands that students are having on campus, right? And first and foremost and primarily, that speaks to students that are not allowed to register as a result that they have a student tab, right? So we've been trying to reason with the university.
Been engaging with management, it's just it's going to the deaf ears, so they're still sleeping there for now, and also some of them were keeping them in the SRC offices, so hopefully then we're going to get the answers we all need at this time.
All right, let's go to Manqoba, who was covering the press briefing by various ministers who were giving an update within their disciplines on the national state of disaster on Eskom. Manqoba, just take us through some of the important takeouts.
Well, Masego, finally, the ministers are tabling those regulations that, of course, will oversee the state of disaster, and primary to those, of course, is the exemptions that have been announced here today. We know that, for example, the health sector is among those that will be exempted from load shedding, and the reason for this, they say, is to try and minimize the impact of load shedding on such crucial departments and infrastructure. The water infrastructure, we understand, will also be exempted from load shedding. But as far as hospitals are concerned, the health minister is saying that they've identified 213 hospitals in total, and these are hospitals that have been identified that provide emergency services that will be exempted. There are currently 76 of them that are exempted from load shedding, and what has been a challenge for the health department is that the other hospitals under under municipalities, others are under ESCOM. There are about 47 of them under ESCOM and 91 of them under municipalities. And so what has been really a challenge is the fact that some of the cables are intertwined with residential areas as well as businesses. So the minister is saying that they're looking at separating those from those residential infrastructure, and they have started the process of trying to do that. They're hoping that they will be able to complete the process this year. They are starting with the business plans at the end of this month, we understand, Masego. But also crucially, government saying that the red tape that has been there as far as procurement is also being looked into, more especially when it comes to the procurement of new energy resources. That has also been allowed or enabled by these new regulations. But of course, ESCOM saying that these exemptions will have no bearing in terms of load shedding. They will want to see the load shedding stages being reduced, saying that citizens should not accept stage 6 load shedding. But earlier on, this is what the ESCOM CEO had to say, acting CEO had to say.
The long lead spares that Thomas Conradi in generation needs to procure, the resources that he needs to ensure that he delivers on fulfilling the actual outage requirements, plus the flexibility that we now have on procurement within the governance rules. There should be no excuses from an ESCOM perspective and a generation perspective why we cannot see load shedding starting to be reduced going forward. We must not accept stage 6. We need these stages to come down.